Good morning, beautiful family in the light. So much love to each of you. Wishing you a blessed Monday, the 17th. I think the 17th or 18th. The 18th of June. So this video is regarding Mr. Mehboudi. This is day 7 contact with him. The last 3 days I have not had any communication with Mr. Mehboudi from Spirit side. So for those of you who are just watching this for the first time, you can check back the previous videos regarding this poet, this esoteric poet, an Iranian poet who got in contact with me during my meditation, and he introduced himself, and little by little I've been learning about him from Spirit side, and I've googled a little bit about, like, he said he's from 5th century and the year exactly was given 534, and from the city in Nashat. And so there's a lot I don't know because I am not versed in the Persian language, in Farsi language, and some of you know, like, I only learned up to 6th grade, so, and I'm in no way a scholar or literature in Farsi. Any of that is extremely foreign to me. I can't read and write, so he does speak in Farsi to me. And on this day 7th, I'm going to share what he wrote. And again, as usual, the pronunciations are not quite correct. I do my best while I'm in trance, hearing him speak, to come right away, just write it down without interruption. So the spelling is, I know, is off because I don't claim to know the spelling, and pronunciation probably is off as I'm sharing it. I'm doing the best I can to, as I'm hearing it, sounding it out and saying it. So today he said, به 6 آیت در پیشکار شاملت شد که پیراه دینار زیر از زیر از تمثال که نیاز از کم کاناد آمد پیشانات ای به پیر تو خرقت ناجهال آمد او که وارد شد در نیش خیمیان. So again, like, out of this whole verse, I hardly understand even 10% of it, maybe 15. And what's so interesting about it, so today I stayed longer. I said, Mr. Mehboudi, what is I asked in Farsi, میخوای من با این چی بکنم? I asked, what do you want me to do with this? And he said, نتیجهش در دست خودت است. He said, the result is in your hands. I said, okay. And I was like, can you please show me something concrete that I can like rely on, that I can like count on, because there is no Iranian poet that is known in 5th century. Everything starts from 9th century. And also there's very little documentation. I hardly know anything about history anyway. So I said, is there anything you can just give me? So I started seeing this sort of like ruins, like these ancient ruins, maybe in Iran, I guess, and I don't know, but I kept seeing this, and the only word that I heard was Hakhamanesh. I don't know what that is. That sounds very familiar, but I have no clue what. I believe I've heard this before, Hakhamanesh. I don't know what it is, so I'll Google it. So I'm sharing this video just as I've come off the meditation, like I've been doing it. And what's interesting about this is that in the I'm sharing this because it's not an area that's very comfortable to speak in Farsi. I don't claim to know anything. And what's very interesting about the Iranian culture, they love poetry so much. It's like they're beloved. They melt the famous Hafiz and Rumi and Khayyam, and the other ones are from, the Iranian poets. And the Iranians in general have such a pride in their poetry. And so here I am, somebody who's very disconnected from culture, who's kind of been divorced from the culture for 30 some years. I hardly speak it. I do speak some to my children. I do love the Persian New Year so very much. There's some things I've adopted and some things I've let it go because it just simply doesn't resonate. And I certainly resonate so much more to my star family, my Arcturian family, my higher dimensional family than the Earth family anyway. So having said that, what's so interesting is having a contact from spirit side, this esoteric poet that and when I started sharing the video, I saw some of the Iranians were a little bit uncomfortable because they were a little bit frustrated how I'm not pronouncing it right. And of course, I'm saying it up front. I'm not. They're like, well, you should write it in English. I can't because it's coming in Farsi. And it is a mediumship from this other side, and I'm just allowing it. But I can also see how this pushes envelopes because I can't claim to know anything about it. I'm just putting the information straight from spirit world, and the spirit world is not a world that in general Iranians are comfortable with. So I can see how a bunch of triggers are coming up, and I'm just embracing it. I'm very grateful to Mr. Mehboudi and whatever else he's going to be sharing and showing. But I'm going to look up what this Hakhamanesh was. I'm going to call my mom, as I've been calling her, and say, hey, this came. What does this mean? What does this mean? So thank you so much for watching. Maybe just embrace all of our spiritual gifts as we're aligning, we're expanding, we're raising our consciousness, we're raising our heart frequency, we're allowing the light codes within us become even more available to us. These are some of our other gifts that are just flourishing, and there's absolutely no reason to hide any of our higher spiritual gifts, but to fully embrace them, so that in which is more part of our divine plan can show itself and reveal itself and really celebrate. So that's what I wanted to share. So much love to all of you. Thank you so much for watching. خیلی ممنون. مرسی. تشکر. Look forward to your comments. Much love and gratitude. Aha, namaste. Nakesh banur ish. House.